Hi and welcome to Menstrual Cups and Cloth Pads Kenya. So today I'm filming my July what I wore this month video, and before I start I just want to give you a bit of background. So if you've watched any of my last 3 unboxing videos, you'll know that I've been traveling and my period actually arrived on the day that I was leaving. So it came at 5:30 p.m. just as I was about to start getting ready for my journey, and I was basically going to be on like a intercontinental like 20-hour door-to-door journey that includes like traveling to the airport and transits and stuff like that. So it's my first time traveling on, actually not just on cloth, but even with cloth pads, even with cups, for a long haul journey. So I was really nervous about it. I was hoping my period was going to arrive later. I used a period tracker, so I knew it was due that day. I was praying that it wouldn't, and it turned up. So I was like, okay, we're going to have to deal. Now, when I was traveling, I was just in a situation where I wasn't able to stain, treat, or soak my pads the way I normally would. So I just chucked them in the wash. I literally, I had no time. I was so busy. I just threw them in the wash and I was just like, okay, whatever happens, happens. Also, I did have a request from a viewer a few months ago asking me, you know, if I had ever done a wash cycle, which was just throwing them in the washing machine without any stain treating to see how they came out. I've been thinking about doing it for a while. I've been super nervous about it just because I was really worried about staining. But this was actually the perfect time for me to try that out because A, I didn't really have a choice, and B, I was like, you know what, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it now. So I did it. So my period was exactly 7 days, and I know this because it ended the day before I was going to catch another flight. So I had to wash my pads, dry them, and they could be ready by my morning flight. So I actually had to wash them in the evening because my host wasn't super comfortable with the idea of cloth pads. So I wanted to use the machine at a time when she wasn't going to be using it. So I washed it right before bedtime, and I literally just threw them in. She didn't even have a bucket. So I wasn't able to, and I couldn't soak them in her bathtub or whatever. So I just threw them in. Her machine didn't have a pre-wash cycle, which was really surprising for me, but she kind of got it when she bought the flat. So it's a bit of an older model. And I didn't have time to do like a short wash, like on a delicates wash, and then do it. So I literally just threw it in because I was waiting to go to bed, and it was quite late by this point because we'd been out for the day and we'd come back home, and it must have been about 11 p.m. So I threw them in. I put it on a cotton wash, on a 30-degree wash, and it was quite short. It was actually 1 hour 37, and my machine at home is like 2 hours and something on a cotton wash. Anyway, I threw it in, blood and all. I dry stored them, threw them in, and I was waiting up for them to be for the cycle to finish so that I could A, run another cycle just to clean out the machine for her, and B, hang them up to dry. So luckily it was really hot in the UK at that time. And so they did dry by morning and I was able to put them, but it just means that there was no stain treating. It was a relatively short wash cycle, which is also why I chose to wash them on quite a low temperature because I was worried about the staining. As a result, some of my pads are really stained, which is why I'm doing this preamble kind of forewarning thing. So you've been warned, the pads are really stained. If you don't want to see the stained pads, I would suggest just clicking off now. I've stacked them in order of least to most stained, or roughly, and I'm going to go through them now. Okay, so the first thing I did when I was traveling was I put in my cup because I figured I need to have as much backup. I didn't know when I was going to be able to change them. Some of the toilets, I wasn't sure about the cleanliness. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to put in my cup. And I could have worn a larger capacity cup, but this cup, my ruby cup, is so reliable. Every time I put it in, there's no leaks. I know exactly how to use it. So I figured I'm going to choose sort of something that I'm really comfortable with over a cup which I know has more capacity but which I'm not 100% sure with. So I carried my ruby cup, I put that in. I also used an interlabial pad, so I don't remember which one I used, but I used one interlabial pad and I wore a pad as backup, and that was how I sorted out my journey. So I didn't manage to change my pad out until about 5 hours into the journey. And for me, like, my cup fills up generally within 2 to 3 hours max. So by the time I was changing my cup, my pad was pretty saturated. I mean, my cup had definitely overflowed by that point, and the IOP, it did buy me some time, but my pad was really was really saturated. So I was in Dubai airport and I was like, oh, perfect. They've got bidets. I'm going to, not, you know, the bidet attachment. So I was like, I'm going to rinse out my cup. It's going to be great. Yeah, not so much. The pressure of the bidet came out with such force. So I had one leg on the toilet and I had pulled out my cup with my right hand, and then I was holding the bidet in my left hand, and I still have my right foot on the toilet, and I did the like one little, and I was doing it so gently. I was like squeeze, and it just went, and it was like blood everywhere. I mean, I'm going to put a picture in here. And that's basically my bloody shoe. Because I got it on my shoe, I got it on the walls, I got it everywhere. Like I was cleaning up for ages. So that was a bit of a disaster. But my cup was clean. So I reinserted it, put in another interlabial pad, and I used another pad. So I did have to change once on the flight. And oh my God, I hate, at the best of times, I hate airplane toilets. I just hate them. I hate them. They're tiny. I just, oh, closed spaces. I generally hate public toilets. I'm a real germaphobe, so I really don't like public toilets for public facilities, and so that just made the situation worse. But I did have to change out my pad, so I changed it out once until I got to my destination. Anyway, so I'm going to start now with my what I wore this month. So you've already seen my cup, my ruby cup. I wore this a lot, so I don't have as many pads in this period as I normally would have. And then I used a bunch of interlabial pads. They are really stained. So these are just an OBV top with like a lycra back, cotton jersey on the back, and these are from Crimson Moon. So I used 1, 2, 3 of hers. And then I used these two. As you can see, they are horrendously stained. And these are from Lady Days cloth pads in the UK. And then I have these ones, which are actually my favorite ones. And these are from Lorraine Makes, also a UK maker. This one always stains. It stained even the last time, even when I stain treated it. It took quite a lot of staining to get out, but it's blue. So you can see really stained. I'm not sure what that is on the back. I can't remember, but it's usually like a bamboo terry. So that one also stained. So those are the interlabial pads. I used quite a few of them because I was really busy and I just needed to buy my pads time in between changes. So I like ILPs as well. They direct my flow because I have really heavy gushy flow. I'm a center to front bleeder. So I do sometimes tend to leak off the wings. So you'll see that the choice of pads that I wore this time was a lot of wrap style pads, which really work well for me. Okay, and we start. So I have a 10-inch Lady Days moderate, and this is cotton jersey and WindPro on the back. So I don't own a lot of heavies. My period when I first started using cloth pads was pretty light. I wasn't using an IUD, and it had just completely, my periods were really very light, very short. I took out the IUD and I found out I had fibroids. My periods are super heavy now. So I have ordered some heavies. I don't have a lot right now. So I use a lot of moderates, which means I have to change them really often, which is also why I use a lot of interlabial pads. Okay, so that one doesn't have any staining, not that I can see. This is just part of the color. Okay, the next one is Crimson Moon. This is a 9-inch moderate. Again, I don't think there's any staining. This is cotton jersey and WindPro on the back. She uses Zorb in her cores. The next one is North Coast Rags. It's this mishmash pad, and it's cotton jersey and an OBV on the top with WindPro on the back. Again, I don't think any staining. It does look a little bit dingy to me, the color. So I might still just stain treat this one a little bit. This is Lady Days cloth pads, and this is this a cotton lycra? So as you can see, this has quite a bit of staining, but this is a blue pad. So there's no surprises there. So a lot of staining over there. The next one is 10-inch. Oh, these are all 10-inch moderates, by the way. So the next one is a 10-inch moderate by L&L Secrets. Used to be Dinky Dot Spots, which I just discovered the other day. She doesn't sell anymore. And this one, it's quite patterned, but it does have some mild staining. It's like a little bit dingy over there. If you hear any dogs barking, those are my dogs making a lot of noise in the background. The next one is Maison de Morris, and you can see that also has staining there. This is also a cotton jersey and WindPro on the back. And I forgot to say that this is a cotton jersey, and I'm not sure if this is WindPro or just a fleece back. I'm not sure what has happened to the light in here. It feels really dark all of a sudden. I think the sun's gone. This is a 10-inch moderate. Is it 10-inch? Hang on. Yeah, it's a 10-inch moderate by Grayson Street Emporium. It's cotton woven and waterproof fleece on the back. I'm not sure what it is. It's like a power shield or whatever, and you can see it's got a stain down there. This is by Go With The Flow. Go With Your Flow. Aussie maker. This is cotton jersey and corduroy on the back with hidden PUL, and this one also has some light staining over there. I wore this as an overnight pad. This is my Afripads. I think it's 13 or 14 inches, micro fleece on the top, PUL on the back, and that has staining, which really surprised me because it's a synthetic and it is quite stain resistant, so that surprised me. Now, these are the bad ones. This is Crimson Moon. This is a 10-inch moderate Zorb core WindPro on the back. That's stained quite a bit. No, this is, did I say cotton jersey? No, this is a French terry. So this one's stained really, really badly. This is Handmade by Hedi. This is cotton woven, I believe. 10-inch moderate. This is also a Zorb core, and she uses anti-peel fleece on the back and super bad staining. And this is the worst of the lot. This is the one that I was wearing when I was traveling the first 5 hours of my flight. And you can see I had covered it from top to tail. And actually, I really like this pad because it was so full, but it didn't leak. And I feel like it's this kind of shape. It just got right to the edge and right to the edge over there, and no stain. I mean, no leaking, but lots of staining. It even looks like it was going over the edge, but I think I got it just in time. So this is really, really badly stained. But again, this is a blue pad. This is the color that it normally is. And this is WindPro on the back. So I used 12 pads, 7 interlabial pads, and 1 cup. I would normally use more than these, and I would normally also use liners, but I forgot to carry a single liner, which is unbelievable. So I had basically a 6-week, I'm going to say holiday because it wasn't all holiday, but with no liners. Just crazy. I was wearing my cup quite a bit. So that's why I don't have that many pads as well. And I also use a lot of interlabial pads, which, you know, they really buy you time. You can get probably another hour with an interlabial pad, especially some of the more absorbent ones like this one. So yeah, now I'm going to wash these. I'm going to stain treat them because for me, I just don't like to see my pads with stains. It doesn't mean they're dirty. They actually smell really clean. In fact, they smell so much of, I was sniffing them, which I know somebody might think is a bit disgusting, but whatever. They smell of detergent because I wasn't able to do an extra rinse, which I normally do on my cycle when I wash my pads. So they smell quite strongly of detergent. I'm going to stain treat them. I might do a video if anybody's interested on how to get out set-in stains. I'm hoping that I'm able to get them out, especially with the blue pads, but we'll just see how it goes. I also used a large wet bag, and so this is from Feminine Wear. It's huge, and it's got, this is like the used side and this is the clean side. I actually have 2 of them. This one still has underwear in it, which I need to do laundry for, and they're both by Feminine Wear, so they're both like the huge size. Oops, this one's fallen down. And then I also carried a pad wrapper. This is from Lady Days cloth pads. Now I have to say, the packing was a bit hurried because it was all a bit last minute when I was traveling, and I because I ended up moving my trip forward. I was supposed to travel on the Thursday. I ended up traveling on the Monday. So I hadn't packed lastminute.com. And I would have carried more pad wrappers and at least one more wet bag, but a smaller one, like a clutch size or like the medium size, which kind of goes about that big. Because when I was out and about, I needed to carry pads with me to change. And I only had this. I didn't want to carry this huge thing. So I only had this. So I ended up only carrying one with me. And then I had my cup, which I was wearing and emptying and changing, which is why I also use my cup quite a bit. So that is what I carried. Those are the accessories that I carried for this period. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, watch other videos, and comment below. And if you'd like me to do a video on removing setting stains, let me know. Thank you so much. Bye.